Hello, everyone, and welcome. It's so great to have you with me today. Welcome to Empower Fantastic Life. Find your power, live without limits. Today, we're going to unpack a word, a single word, that I promise you holds the key to unlocking some serious personal and professional power: accountability. Okay, so let's just be honest for a second. When you hear that word accountability, what's your gut reaction? I bet for a lot of us, it kind of lands with a thud. It might bring up feelings of blame, being put on the spot for a mistake, or maybe even some kind of punishment. It usually feels like this pressure coming from the outside, something that's done to you. Well, what if we've been looking at this thing completely backwards? This is the big idea from Sam Silverstein's incredible book, I Am Accountable. And this slide, well, it lays out the shift perfectly. We're moving from that old, fear-based model of blame and punishment, and we're reframing accountability as ownership, as empowerment. It's an internal choice. It's a huge shift from that feeling of dread to a feeling of total freedom. So the big question is, how do we actually make that shift? Well, the first and most important thing to get is that true accountability isn't something you do. It's something you are. It's not just another checkbox on your to-do list. It is a deep, fundamental change in your way of thinking. And right here, this definition is the foundation for everything else. Think about it. When something goes wrong, what's our first instinct? It's to point a finger, right? At the boss, at the economy, at bad luck. But real accountability flips that script entirely. It makes us look in the mirror first and ask, okay, wait, what's my mindset about this situation? Here's a perfect everyday analogy that just makes this click. Think about going on a diet. A diet is just a set of external rules you follow, right? And usually you're kind of fighting it, and it's almost always temporary. But a healthy lifestyle, that's totally different. That's a mindset. It's an internal commitment that guides your choices naturally, without all the struggle. And that is the exact difference we're talking about here. This is where the power really kicks in. So much of our stress, our frustration in life, it comes from pouring our energy into things that are completely outside of our control. The weather, other drivers on the road, somebody else's bad mood. The accountable mindset consciously pulls our focus back to the one thing we always have control over: our own response. Come on, we've all been here, stuck in that bumper-to-bumper traffic, feeling that frustration bubble up. The old fear-based mindset gets angry, blames the other cars, the bad timing. But the accountability mindset, it accepts the reality of the situation and asks a much more powerful question. It says, okay, the traffic is what it is. I can't change it. So what can I do? Can I listen to that audiobook? Can I call my mom? Can I just plan out the rest of my day? See? That's taking your power back. All right, so if accountability is a mindset, how in the world do we build it? This is the practical part. The book gives us this amazing toolkit. It breaks it down into 10 key commitments or choices that we can start making every single day to really build this new way of thinking. Let's take a look at the first 5. These first 5 are really the bedrock. It all starts with committing to your own potential, but, and this is key, also helping others realize theirs. It means choosing the truth, especially when it's hard. It means living your values, not just having them on a plaque somewhere. And I absolutely love this one. It's all of us. This just kills the blame game. It's like a great sports team. They don't say the offense lost the game. They say we lost because you're in it together. Now, one of the commitments we're about to see is my word is my bond, and it is so important. It really deserves its own moment here. In a world where promises can feel pretty casual, being someone who is genuinely reliable, that's a superpower. This idea of integrity, it's the engine that drives everything else. And here are the final 5 commitments. We've got committing to sound financial principles, which is really about respecting resources. Creating a safe space where other people can be honest without fear. As we just said, making your word your bond. Standing strong when a crisis hits, because that's when character is really revealed. And finally, actively building a good reputation, which you'll find is just the natural result of doing all these other things. Now, here's what's so fascinating. When you start practicing these commitments, it doesn't just change you. It actually creates this powerful ripple effect that expands outward and starts to influence everyone and everything around you. And it all starts with just one person. It has to start with you. This is that first ripple. And it makes so much sense when you think about it. You can't demand accountability from your team if you aren't living it yourself. You can't expect honesty from your family if you're not being honest. It's a fundamental truth. We cannot give what we do not have. So the whole journey has to begin with our own personal commitment. And from that personal commitment, the second ripple begins to expand. When you bring this mindset to work, you start to inspire your colleagues. It builds trust, it encourages people to take smart risks, and pretty soon it transforms the entire culture. And believe me, that positive energy doesn't just stop at the office door. It radiates out into your family, your community, and the world. Okay, so let's bring all this together. We started out talking about accountability like it was some heavy burden we have to carry. But I hope you're starting to see it in a completely different light. It's not a burden at all. It's a declaration of your own personal power. This is the ultimate statement of ownership. It's that powerful, conscious shift away from saying, it's not my fault or there was nothing I could do. When you can truly say, I am accountable, you are putting yourself in the driver's seat of your own life. So the most important takeaway is this. Far from being a cage of blame, real accountability is the key that unlocks the door. It frees you from a victim mentality and hands you the power to create the life you want, which leads to more success and, you know what? A lot more joy. So I'm going to leave you with a question to carry with you this week. As you go about your days, where is that one situation, maybe at work, maybe at home, where you can consciously choose to apply this mindset? That one moment where, instead of looking for an excuse, you pause and you ask, what's my part in this? What can I control? And truly say to yourself, I am accountable. You've been listening to Empower Fantastic Life, Jaeger Empowerment Academy. See you next time. Bye-bye.